step forward, even the small ones, they count. This is beyond the beard. This is who you are. More than the silence, more than the scars. You're still standing here. You held your ground even when the world fell upside down. One more breath, one more step, one more day. That's how you made your way.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing tonight on this amazing Tuesday evening for Beyond the Beard? Hope everybody's having an amazing day. We're going to get into some things today. We're probably going to get into the win of the week here shortly. We're going to get into what's in beard. But you know what? We do have a conversation that I want to have with you guys tonight. I think this is going to resonate with a lot of us guys. I think it's also going to resonate with a lot of the ladies in this community that are in this chat tonight. And, you know, maybe it'll shed a little bit of light on some of the things that happen with us guys and some of the things that, you know, maybe we don't understand completely. But you know what? I think we're going to get into it tonight. It's going to be a fun night tonight, guys. Grab your snacks, grab your cold drinks, and let's get ready to have a fun night tonight. Go ahead and throw that down there at the bottom. If you guys wouldn't mind, make sure to hit that thumbs up on your way in. That lets YouTube know that we're doing something here that is important. And the more thumbs up and likes we get on this, the more they're going to end up sharing it out. So appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying hi to everybody so we don't get too far behind. First in, about 20 seconds after I got this thing set up. Chris, brother, appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing well. Love seeing those emojis, guys. And first in, after everything cleared out, because when we first set it up, the first chats tend to disappear after a little bit. But right after that first one in the live stream that everybody can see is going to be South Bearded, Texas. Sam, appreciate you being here, brother. Hope you're doing well. Kiki, appreciate you coming in. Hope you're doing great. Jeff, Viking Papa, brother, appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for the message today. I really appreciate that, brother. The one and only Stan the Bearded Man, brother, appreciate you coming in. Hope you're doing great tonight. The one, the only Miss Busy Bee Collective, aka Miss K, aka Dot Lady, and also known as Ain't B. Babe, appreciate you being here, and as always, for all your support. Miss Bruce City, Becky, appreciate you coming in tonight. Hope you're having an amazing Tuesday evening. Hey, speaking of which, hey, that's a new photo there, Chris. I'm gonna have to zoom in on that later to see how that beer progress is going, brother. You're looking good. Romy, brother, appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing great. Hope you had an amazing day today. I'm trying to get myself a little bit settled here. Crash, brother, hope you're doing great. Hope everything is going well. Robert Allen, appreciate you coming in tonight. We are rocking 18 in here so far. People are still rolling in. Let me see. I know I am a little bit behind. Let's see here. Rob, brother, appreciate you being in. Hope you're doing great. Hi all, new to growing a year for the first time. I'm 15 days in. Bearded Beast, welcome in, brother. And if you got any questions, feel free to let that out, and we'll answer them as much as the best that we can. If you want more of a personal one-on-one as far as what you're going through and some tips that I could possibly give you, I do have my links in the link tree pinned up to the top of this. Feel free to message me on Instagram, email, or however you'd like to, and we can definitely get into it, man. Let's see. All right. Hey, brother, appreciate you coming in. Hope you're doing well tonight. And it looks like we got Kenny, Big Shoe, brother. Appreciate you coming in. I hope you're doing well tonight. All right. One of the two crunks. Chris, brother, appreciate you coming in. Hope you're doing well. And yes, my Friday is over. My weekend is starting. All right. Let's see. Everybody saying hi. Everybody, go ahead and say hi to everybody else in the chat. Let's let everybody feel welcome in tonight. Blanco, brother, appreciate you being here. Hello, Dave and family. Much love, everybody. Yep, absolutely. Spread out that love. And also for, man, where did he go? Bearded Beast. If you'd like us to call you by your first name, feel free to put that in there. And man, welcome in if it's your first time in. I'm trying to catch up here. Yep. Everybody, welcome in the Bearded Beast 5786. Welcome him into this community. Scott, brother, appreciate you coming in. Hope you're doing great tonight. Okay, I sure will. If I have any questions, that sounds good, man. Appreciate you. And number 2, Crunk. 1 and 2, Randall and Chris Crunk. Appreciate you guys being here tonight and all the support that you guys show the channel. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Let's see, guys. I think I got Kiki. Appreciate you being here. Chris is your name. Got quite a few Chris's in here. That's awesome, man. Appreciate you. I'm Dave, and this is the community. All right. Yep, there's a lot of Chris's. All right. All right, guys. So we do have a bit of a subject that I want to get into tonight. We're going to get into that here shortly. We got some people in. Going to give you guys a little bit of a hint about what we're going to be talking about tonight. The main idea for tonight is being strong and dependable are really good qualities. The problem comes when a man starts believing strength means he's never allowed to struggle or ask for help or admit that there's something getting heavy. We're going to get into that tonight. And it's going to be I think it's going to be an interesting conversation tonight. I'm really interested to see how you guys are going to carry this conversation as well. Yeah, about half the community. All right. Call you Beast or Bearded if you want. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Whatever you're the most comfortable with. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and let's start off the right way, as we always do here on this channel. Guys, what is your win of the week? Share 1 week from your day or your week. It could be a big win, be a small win. Maybe you handled something a little better than you normally do. Yeah. What is your win for this week so far? I know it is the beginning of the week for a lot of us here, but throw out those wins. We love to celebrate those wins with you guys. We are, yep, and there are those emojis, guys. Those emojis will come with membership. There's not much else that does come with a membership, but it is a way that you guys can support the channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys that do so. All right. Abe says that he fixed more of his aunt's electronics. That's awesome. Rob, moving the boy went really well. That's my win. That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's nice when everything kind of falls into place, right? Valhar, Veronica, appreciate you being here tonight. Evening all, listening while working on the books and homework assignments. There you go. Sam, win of the week, made it through Tuesday. Made it through Tuesday 3 days ago. There you go. Romy said he's got his new work car to reach out of today. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Road to 2K. Love seeing those guys and break the stigma of talking about men's mental health. Hey, congratulations, man. That, don't ever take these feats lightly, man. I know when it comes to addiction and when it comes to um, staying clean, I can understand how difficult that is, man. But congratulations on 2 years. Hey, man, here's to the next one and the one after that and to the one after that. Very awesome, man. Let's see. Miss K, getting new tires put on tomorrow. I've been overdue for a long time. I agree. Definitely, definitely need to get those taken care of. Looking forward to getting that done too. When you start going from the May pops to the Gunna pops, yeah, it's time to get them changed. Crash said, where his win of the week got over half my brush pile burnt off. Wind and rain has been killing me. I bet, man. I bet. And absolutely, guys, send out those congrats to the bearded beast for his 2 years sober. That is awesome, man. Uh, awesome, bearded. Congrats. Been sober for 13 years myself. Yep. You will find a few people in this community, in this chat room tonight that have had similar struggles and that are definitely on that path as well, man. So welcome in. They say congratulations. That is awesome. Learning a lot of new stuff at work in my new area. That is my win of the week. There you go, Jay Farm. Appreciate you coming in, brother. Hope you're doing great tonight. Big wedding anniversary tomorrow, guys. Abe is celebrating. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going off memory here, and I want to say 37 years of marriage tomorrow. That is awesome, brother. Congratulations to you and to the missus. Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah. I know I'm new, but I feel like I should share 2 years ago. I tried to drink myself to death, like my dad did at the age of 27. Hey, man, I, I think we all go through those times. And, hey, Phil, you in this community here on this channel, you're more than welcome to share whatever you're comfortable with sharing. And we are here to pat you on the back. We're here to help give you that motivation to keep going forward. And we're here if you need anything, man. That is awesome. But hey, you found it in yourself. You saw what was happening, and you decided to make a change for yourself. And that is awesome, man. Yep. Rob, there's at 3 years. For y'all, Abe had a case of the fat fingers. Right. That, that never happens to me, Blanco. Never. That's why every time I'm typing, you guys see a random C where there should be a space. Yep. Yep. In any of the when I send a message out to you guys. Yeah, we are glad you're still here with us today, Beast. Absolutely. And really hope that you enjoy tonight's show. And if you do enjoy tonight's show, we have one on Saturday night as well called The Bearded Kin with my brother AA Ron. We come on, and it's a big community night, and we just kind of get together and share our stories and kind of talk to you guys. One day at a time, absolutely. Veronica, win of the week being absolutely swamped. These are the days we prayed for. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. All right, guys. I know it's a little early, but you know what? We're going to go ahead and throw this out there now. You guys go ahead and keep rolling in those win of the weeks. If you guys can throw out WOTW or WOW something in there, so I know it's a win of the week, I will mention those even though the slide isn't up. But I think the next one we're going to hit, because I really want to get into tonight's subject, guys. I think it's important, and I think it's going to be a good topic. I really can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about the topic and your input. But right now, let's go ahead and let's see what is in beard, guys. What product company are you using? What beer products are you wearing? And what scent did you choose tonight? This is the time we get to shout out those small batch companies that we all know and love. And let's see what you guys got in beer tonight. Romy is running Tabletop Ranger Oil. Very nice. Tonight, I am running House of Lords from True North Beer Co., Deer Hunter Butter, and Lion's Mane Balm. Love it, love it, love it. Dead Man's Solstice Oil. Very nice. Luxurious Bastard. Odin Butter. Barbershop by Blue Collar Beardsman. Very nice. Yep. Happy anniversary to Abe and Tammy. Absolutely. Sam has got Dead Man's Blackwater Oil. Beard Octane Onyx Oil is in beer tonight. For Robert Allen, Rob has got 8-bit Dueling Dragons. Very nice. Swole Skull with 5 Burrows Butter. Very nice. Valahar Midnight Sip Oil. Volt Everlast Oil and Valahar. No Mark Butter. Copper John's Mountain River Oil and Butter. Black Manor Grooming. Final Girl Oil? Yep. Valahar Midnight Sip. And we got small batch Red Clay Lightning in so far. All right, guys. And Miss K did mixed Strawberry Rouge from Small Town Traditions and Pound Town from TNBC. Strawberry Cake. That sounds amazing. Miss K being a Tynomite mixologist. It was good seeing him on his live tonight. So today, Tyno, if you catch this on the replay, it was good catching your live this morning on my way in. Hope you're doing well, brother. All right. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this tonight. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I'm going to ask some questions. You guys, please be as involved as you possibly can. And, but don't feel pressured to do so. I want everybody in this chat room to feel comfortable about talking. I want them to be comfortable about opening up, and let's have a good night tonight. And let's get some education going in. Let's get some insights going, guys. All right, everybody's saying hi still. So while everybody's saying hi, we're going to get into it tonight. So tonight we're going to get back into men's mental health, and what we're talking about, something that a lot of us guys can probably relate to, and that's being the strong one, being the person who handles things, being somebody people can depend on. And what happens when being that person starts to get heavy? And ladies, I don't want tonight to feel like this conversation isn't for you. Some of what we're talking about might be something that you've seen in your husband, your boyfriend, your dad, your brother, friend, coworker, or somebody in your life. There might even be parts where you're sitting there thinking, why do you guys do this to yourselves? And that's actually part of the conversation tonight, because I don't want to tell anybody this is how men think. We're all different. I want us to talk about why some men feel this pressure, where it might come from, and what it looks like on both sides, not just our side, but what the women see and what the ladies see on the other end of this. That's really what I want to get in tonight. So let's go ahead and start with something really basic. When we tell a man, be strong, what exactly are we telling him to do? Because I think we probably have different answers. For you guys, question for you guys, what does being a strong man mean to you? What does being a strong man mean to you? Bearded Buddha, appreciate you coming in. Hope you're doing well today. And we got Live Bearded Sundays, butter and oil from Jasper. Very nice. All right. What does being a strong man mean to you guys? Remember, guys, there are no wrong answers here. Take a sip. Being there for everyone and fixing everything, not showing weakness, etc., etc. Yep. My dad told me this as he was passing away from cancer. Yep. And that's where a lot comes from, too. We're going to get into that. Sam says, being there for the ones that need you the most. Yep. Rob says, being a strong man means being a better version of myself than I was yesterday. Absolutely. Crash, being a man who keeps things together and gets things done. Yep. Being a strong man is being a man of your world, of your word, no matter how convenient it may be. Absolutely. Stanley, being there for family and friends. Yep. No wrong answers, guys. Go ahead and put those answers in. What does being a strong man mean to you? Right. And, here's one for the ladies. What qualities make you look at a man and consider him strong? What qualities make you look at a man and consider him strong? Wanting to get both sides of the action here, guys. Be strong historically, no, and run. Yep. Emotion. Yep. Absolutely. All great answers. Overcoming whatever obstacle that is out in front of you. Yep. Working hard, put food on the table. Yep. Helping others, protecting your family, providing and being a good listener, being kind. Yep. There we go, too, guys. Being strong also means knowing when to ask for help. That's one of the hardest things for us, for a lot of us guys, is asking for help. Jeff says, passing my wisdom and knowledge to the younger generation. And can I repeat the question? I can. Ladies, what qualities make you look at a man and consider him strong? Yep, it is hard to do that sometimes. Yep. That's why I fall short asking for help. You're not alone. A lot of us do. Yep. 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 Absolutely. I think this is important because being strong isn't something I want to be a negative thing tonight because it's not. Being dependable isn't bad. Taking care of your responsibilities isn't bad. Being there for your family isn't bad. Getting up and going to work when you'd rather stay home isn't automatically bad. Having people know they can count on you is something to be proud of, guys. The question is at what point does being strong become feeling like you're not allowed to be anything else? The question is, at what point does being strong become feeling like you're not allowed to be anything else? Ladies, don't compare shoe size. We're all guilty of that. Absolutely. Yep. I try to lose my pride in times of need when I can't do it by myself. Yep. I absolutely agree. That is why a lot of men give up is because of not asking for help. It's so hard for some of us to ask for help. Yep. My wife says reliability and kindness. Yep. Good traits. I used to, but I have a damn strong one by my side, and she is damn near as stubborn as I am. But she has shown me the light. There you go. Kenny, do y'all ever find yourself helping others all the time, even when they don't, and then you need help and ask for it? And I think we might be on the same wavelength here, Kenny. Hmm. And the more I get into it, the more you're going to understand that. Being vulnerable is a crime as a man in our society. It definitely has been. But you know what? That's what break the stigma is about too, right? It's about showing. Uh, it's about showing us that one of the strongest things that we can do is seek help when we need it. That there is help out there for us, and talking about it makes it real. When I think of a strong man, it's a man that has control over his ego and emotions, particularly anger. Not that he can't have emotions, but they don't control his actions. Yep, I agree. Yep. I have no issues asking for help. I'm always in need. However, I do take care of business around the house really well as a single man. There you go. Yep. Yep. Uh, at what point does being strong become feeling like you're not allowed to be anything else? Yeah, where did we learn it? I don't think most guys woke up one morning and decided, I'm never telling anybody when something bothers me again. So where does that come from? Where did your idea of what a man is supposed to be come from? Did it come from your dad, your grandfather, other men you respected? It could be sports, work, or just life experience. Because some of this stuff gets learned without anybody ever actually saying it. Maybe you watched your dad handle everything. Maybe you never saw your grandfather complain. Maybe you learned early that when something goes wrong, you figure it out. And some of those lessons can be really valuable. But sometimes we take a good lesson and we push it too far. I think sometimes we take a good lesson and we push it too far. Chris, brother, appreciate you being here. True North Beer Co. Hope you are doing very well tonight, brother. Hmm. It's hard to ask for help when we've been taught to suck it up and rub some dirt on it. Absolutely. I agree. That's kind of the societal thing that Buddha was talking about earlier today, earlier as well, right? It comes from raising and having showing emotion and asking for help, being thrown in your face too many times. Yep. And that's happened a lot, guys. Yep. Life experience being around a campfire, watching and interacting with my elders. Yep. Life experience was taught a lot of the wrong things early in life. Had to completely reprogram myself. And that's a lot of us. That's a lot of us. I think even when it comes down to, you say, learning the wrong things early in life, I think that's where I think early in life was where we tried to cope with some of these things, and I think that's one of the things that leads to addiction, that leads to the inability to care for yourself. Yep. Well, I did learn a lot from my dad, what to do and especially what not to do, how to treat people, vice versa. Yep. Mark Johnson, appreciate you being here, brother. Hope you're doing well. Just a second, guys. I think I got it. No, the sneeze ran away from me. Mark Johnson, appreciate you being here, brother. My father and my uncles were born during that silent generation. I think that says it all. Yep. 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 Same. Yep. Again, sometimes we take a good lesson and we push it too far. We're going to get into, when I've got it gets heavy. Here's probably one of the most familiar phrases for a lot of guys. I've got it. Something needs to be done. I've got it. A problem comes up. I'll figure it out. Something breaks. I'll take care of it. Somebody needs help. I'm there. And again, there is nothing wrong with that, guys. This is not taking all these things as a negative. But what happens when people what what happens when the "I've got it" becomes the automatic answer even when you don't? But what happens when "I've got it" becomes the automatic answer even when you don't? Guys in the chat here, from 1 to 10, how difficult is it for you to ask somebody for help? Just put the number down in the chat, um, and you can tell me why if you'd like. But let's see how this goes. For the guys in the chat, how difficult is it for you to ask somebody for help? Now, this is each individual's, response here. So there's no wrong answer here, guys. This is more of a curiosity and a mhm. My dad talked very little as I grew up and still know very little about him. Yep. I read a lot of self-help books. So that's helped. Yep. Yep. 5, 7, honestly, 8, 8, 6, 5. Still have work to do. Yep. 4, 5. Yep. 3. Guys, from 1 to 10, how difficult is it for you to ask somebody for help? 5, I've been fortunate enough in life that I haven't had much of a need to ask for help. Yep. 'Alright, ladies, now I'm curious what that looks like from your side. Have you ever known something was bothering a man in your life and all you can all you get was, "I'm fine"? Have Ladies, have you ever known something was bothering a man in your life and all you can get out of him was, "I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I've got it." And you're looking at him and thinking, "I know you're not fine." What's that like from your side? Because I know a lot of the women have dealt with that very thing, and we're getting both sides perspective here, guys. I think being an only child has made me self-sufficient. Yep. 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 I find it more difficult to ask someone else if they need help. Often people take it negatively or get defensive. Sometimes, but sometimes just showing up and sending a message and just saying, "Hey, how you really doing?" You know, sometimes that's what it takes. Send a meme out to a buddy you haven't heard from. Yep. It depends too, though. Asking a buddy to help do a physical task is easier than asking for help with internal things. It is. Yep, I agree. I'm the queen of I got it. Yep. My Tanya knows when to push and when to let it go. Yep. My wife will tell you she wants to beat me with a shovel when I get like that. Yep. Incredibly frustrating. Can't help or give support if I don't know what's wrong. Right. And a lot of us don't know how to express it. Those are some of the things that we're still learning. Blanca says, Dave, sorry I have to dip out early, but I have to wake up early first for work. Y'all have a blessed evening, peaceful night of rest. Blanca, appreciate you coming in, brother, and have a good night and sleep well. We will see you soon, brother. Yep, that's because she cares. Yep. Yeah, once moved a sofa down 3 flights of stairs rather than to ask for help. Yep. Yeah, we can be stubborn. Yep. Yep. Can't always be on the go. Can't always be on the go. Yep. Sam says, I'm the worst at keeping it locked up and working through it on my own. Yep. Have a great night, brother. I'm sure all of the married men in here know that look that wife gives them when thinking, yeah, this dude definitely ain't got it. Right. Right. But do you actually work through it, Sam, or just push it down? Yep. And and again, asking the ladies, what it's like, from your side, when you hear, the person that you care about say that I'm fine when you know he's not. That right there is something I think we need to hear too, because we're usually talking about what it feels like to be the guy carrying something. Yeah. We're usually talking about what it feels like to be the guy carrying something. We don't necessarily think about what it's like being the person standing next to him, trying to figure out how to help. And there's another part of this that isn't necessarily about emotions at all. Sometimes being the strong one means feeling like you're supposed to know what to do. Something breaks, figure it out. Problem at work, handle it. Money gets tight, find a solution. Something happens with the family, what are we going to do? Somebody comes to you for advice, and hopefully you have the answer. But sometimes you don't know, and that's uncomfortable. How comfortable, and this is for anybody in here, how comfortable are you saying, I don't know what to do? How comfortable are you saying, I don't know what to do? Keep it locked up till it's too late. Yep. I think it's more so out there feeling of being a bug. I don't want to be seen as a burden or ask someone to get out of the way for. Yep. Yep. Go out of the way for a need. Yep. 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 Get the shovel and bury it mostly. Well, and I think we've talked about that quite a bit on this channel too. We can continue to bury it, but that old part of us tends to creep up from time to time, and we need to know how to deal with it. And the more we bury, the more chances that's going to pop up at some point, right? But hey, it's small steps, stepping stones, learning, right? I was just saying I'm going to sharpen my shovel so I can bury it easy. Yep. Yep. I used to do that, Sam. I almost did something that would have been a law issue. Yep. I have to be at the point where I've exhausted all resources. And yeah, it's not comfortable at all. Nope. I think most people don't know what to do. They just want to be supportive. Yeah, I can see that. Yep. Yep. I will say this: starting my beard journey has led me to this community, which over the last 6 months or so, uh, my eyes have been open and leaps and bounds ahead of dealing with emotions. There you go, man. There you go. And that's what it's about. That's what this community is about. It's what being together in this kind of community, why it matters so much. Yep. Let's be fair. I still bury some emotions sometimes. Yep. Yep. I think we all do. How comfortable are you saying, I don't know what to do? Because I think there's a big difference between I don't know and I don't know yet. Not having the answer right now doesn't mean you're incapable of finding one. Right. And let's talk about that for a minute and let that go for a little bit. And the next part that we're gonna get into, the next section is gonna be we train people to not check. And we're gonna get into that. Your community is the best. Absolutely. There's so many great things as part as this community that you can absorb and that you can consume that just makes you better. Yep. And that's when my other half does the therapist thing to drag me out. Yeah, drag it out of me. Yep. I go out in this community. Definitely a big difference between I don't know what to do and there's nothing I can do. I'm absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. All right. Sometimes you'll hear men say, nobody checks on me. And sometimes that's absolutely true. There are men who don't have anybody regularly asking how they're doing. But I think we also need to be fair about something sometimes. We train people not to check sometimes. If somebody asks me how I'm doing, every almost every single time, it's I'm good. Everything's fine. Don't worry about me. Eventually, they're probably going to believe me. Say that again, guys. I think sometimes we train people not to check. If somebody asks me how I'm doing, and every single time I say, I'm good, everything's fine, don't worry, eventually, they're probably going to believe you. Sometimes we want somebody to notice that we're struggling while we're doing everything possible to make sure nobody notices. Hmm. Yeah. We get confusing sometimes, guys. Sometimes we want somebody to notice that we are struggling while we're doing everything possible to make sure nobody notices. Mhm. Think about that one for a second, guys. Have you ever wanted somebody to notice that something was wrong while you were also trying to hide it? Have you really wanted somebody to notice that something was wrong while you were trying to hide it? Mhm. I'm always impressed with the real brotherhood that exists, and nothing else like it. Absolutely agree. There are some amazing men and women in this community, and I'll scream that. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. I'm guilty, and that's why I don't get checked on. Right. When you're the friend who has it all together and achieving goals, they don't think it's possible for you to be feeling down. I can agree with that. But you know what? You can be in a crowded room with hundreds of people, and the person taking the spotlight may have more going on than you could possibly imagine. The person that's being perceived as the strongest person in the room might be the one that's struggling the most. Great topic, Dave. Wish you could stick around. Getting late here in Florida. Good night, everybody. I appreciate you coming in, brother. And if you happen to catch the rest of this on a replay, it'd be great to hear your thoughts in the comments. Appreciate you being here, man. Have a good night. Rob, I've got certain people in my life who don't take that fine as an answer. Yep. Yep. No doubt sometimes you just want someone to actually see you, someone who can see past you, past your I'm good lies. Yep. Yep. We need to build a compound for the community, like the rules streamers. Yep. 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 Veterans in crisis. Appreciate you being here. Huh? What? We- Okay. Yeah. Let's see. When you say that, I think of Robin Williams, right? Come and go, bring others, leave as you want, come back whenever. So cool. Right. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you. Let me get this caught up right here real quick, guys. Sorry. Just a moment. There you go. Thank you, Miss Busy Bee. All right. Where were we? Make sure I'm not muted or anything. I am not. There we go. Okay, exactly. We're free to come and go and bring others, leave as we want, and come back whenever. Yep. So cool. Absolutely. Hmm. That'd be one heck of a community beer collection, right? I'm also the queen of I'm fine, but those weeks where everyone's sounding bored and when I voice and announce vulnerability and that I'm not okay and it's completely overlooked, I shut it back down, right? Yep. So the question is, who has a ton of random cash that can get this started? That property would be so full of shedded beard hairs, right? All right, guys, let's get back on it. Now, we were saying, have you ever noticed somebody wanted somebody to notice that something was wrong while you were also trying to hide it? And this is where I really want to hear from the ladies too, because if somebody has told you 10 times that they're fine, what are you supposed to do? Ladies, how do you check on a man who keeps telling you he's fine? Absolutely. No, we do care. Right. The extra love, right? I imagine that gets frustrating too, because maybe you're trying, maybe you've asked, maybe you've opened that door and he keeps shutting it. And this might be one of those places where somebody watching tonight thinks, then why don't you just tell somebody what's wrong? And that's a fair question. And now break down the perspective without presenting it as universal. For some guys, maybe they don't know how to explain it. Then why don't you just tell somebody what's wrong? And that's absolutely a fair question. For some guys, maybe they don't know how to explain it. Sometimes you don't want somebody else worrying about it. I think that's a big one. Sometimes you think it's your responsibility to solve it. Sometimes they're already dealing with enough, and I'm not adding my stuff to it. And sometimes we've handled things ourselves for so long that asking somebody else for help just doesn't feel just it just feels uncomfortable. Sometimes we've handled things ourselves for so long that asking somebody else for help just feels uncomfortable. That's not every man. And I'm not saying keeping everything inside is the right answer. I'm saying understanding why somebody might do it is different from saying they should keep doing it. I mean, you can't really. He has to be willing to get vulnerable in a respectful way. Small actions to show that you're there to support. Maybe a special treat. Yep, absolutely. Yep, right. Question for the guys: when someone is trying to check on you, spouse or even a friend, but you're not ready to open up or don't know how, what would you like from them instead of the further pressure? And that's an honest question, guys. When somebody is trying to check on you, your spouse or even a friend, but you're not ready to open up or don't know how, what would you like from them instead of further pressure? Good question. Mhm. The open invitation, if there's anything, you'll have an open ear and mind, no judgment. An open invite to talk when I'm ready. Yep. Sam says, really not sure, Kay. I usually respond that I just need some time, and then it subsides the next time they check in. I'm over it. Yep. Let me just a second. All right. There we go. I found it. Does talking about it mean that you want it fixed? I think this is another misunderstanding we can get into. If somebody says I'm struggling with something, that doesn't necessarily mean fix this for me. Maybe I don't need you to fix anything. Sometimes it's can I run something by you? Can I vent for a minute? What would you do? Man, this week has kicked my ass. And maybe the person listening can't change the situation at all. Sometimes that's not what you need from them. When you're struggling, what helps you more? Somebody giving you advice or somebody just listening? Let's go through that one again, guys. If I tell somebody I'm struggling with something, that doesn't necessarily mean fix this for me. Maybe I don't need you to really fix anything. Can I vent for a minute? What would you do? Man, this week has really kicked my ass. And maybe the person listening can't change the situation at all. But sometimes that's not necessarily what we need from them. When you're struggling, what helps you more? Somebody giving you advice or somebody just listening? Mhm. Yep, I agree. Yep. Sometimes being heard is hard enough. Yep. Depends on the situation, the person. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. I recently vented to my buddy because I knew he was the only one who would listen and let me get it out. Yeah, and sometimes that's all we need. We just need somebody to let us vent it out. Sometimes all you need is somebody to hear you vent. Yep. Yep. I agree. All right, guys, let's try something. I want to get an answer from the guys first on this one. When you're struggling, what is something you wish people around you understood? When you're struggling, what is something you wish people around you understood? Hmm. Transmute the chocolate. Yep. Yep. When you're struggling, what are some of the things that you wish people understood? When you're struggling, what's something you wish people around you understood? Is the question. Give me 5 minutes and I'll have it. Yep. I wish they understood my upbringing, but they will never know. Right? Right. And that's a big one. I mean, every man in here has had a different but possibly similar in some ways upbringing. I wish people understand my thought process, how my brain works. I can't always find the right words. Yep. And I think that's the same for a lot of us too. We know that something's going on, but it's hard for us to put it into words sometimes, to really just kind of break it down as to this is what's going on. And ladies, this is kind of one for you guys. When you know a man you care about is struggling, but he won't talk about it. What's something you wish that he understood? Ladies, when you know a man you care about is struggling, but he won't talk about it, what's something you wish that he understood? Mhm. I need the quiet, some time away. Yep. Sometimes it takes that time to that way we can kinda prioritize what's going on in our head. Yep, yep. It is hard to explain it. Yep, 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 yep. And see, guys, and that's why I wanted to bring this whole thing in here because it's not just one of us that's going through it. Sometimes both people care about each other and both people are trying and they're still completely missing each other. And I think this is probably one of the biggest things that I want to get across tonight. Strong doesn't mean silent. There are times where you've got to push through. Life doesn't stop every time that you're having a rough day. You still got responsibilities. But there's a point where strength can be saying, this one is getting to me, or I can use some help with this. I think about everything you've already made it through. One bad day doesn't erase it. One bad month doesn't erase it. Asking for help doesn't erase it. Admitting you're overwhelmed doesn't erase it. None of that suddenly takes away everything that makes you who you are. But being strong doesn't mean carrying everything. But being strong doesn't mean carrying everything. We're just about through the section, guys. Stick around for just a little bit longer. We're going to wrap this up here shortly. We've got a couple more points and we're good. If I'm struggling, I'm probably overstimulated. Yep. Afraid that I'll hurt them. I'm not how to talk right. Sometimes just need that time to think and figure out what I need to do. Then when I have it, yep, yep, I just want to be there for them. Yep, absolutely. We spent most of tonight looking at this from a perspective of being that guy. right? Let's turn it around. Think about that strong person in your life, the guy everybody calls, the one who always seems to have things handled, the guy who shows up when somebody needs him, who checks in on him. And importantly, checking on somebody doesn't mean treating them like they're fragile. Sometimes it's just giving somebody an opportunity to be honest instead of "You're good. Yeah, cool, maybe." No, seriously, how are you doing? And then actually be willing to hear the answer. But guys, there's a responsibility on our side too. If somebody gives you that opportunity, maybe every once in a while, we gotta let them in. You don't have to unload everything. You don't have to have the perfect words. You don't even have to know exactly what's wrong yet. Maybe the answer is simply, "I've been better," and that's enough to start the conversation. Mhm. Yep. Yep. It talks afterward till it helps them. Yep. All right, guys. I've got one more question for everybody tonight, and not just the guys. Who is somebody you can call when life gets heavy? You don't have to give us their name, but maybe it's your spouse, your brother, sister, friend, parent, coworker, somebody in this community. Just think about who that person is. But you got that person in mind? Let's get that person in mind. Now flip that around. Do they know that they can call you too? Mhm. Do they know that they can call you too? And for the closing thought on this discussion tonight, guys, I don't want anybody leaving tonight thinking the message was men shouldn't be strong. That's not what I'm saying. Be dependable. Take care of your responsibilities. Be somebody people can count on. Be there for the people that you love, and there's lot to be proud of in that. But don't convince yourself that being that person means that you're never allowed to need somebody yourself. You're going to get tired. You're going to have bad days. There will be things you don't know how to handle. And there might be times when something is you're carrying gets heavier than you expected. You can still be the strong one and admit that it's heavy. So maybe that's checking in tonight, especially for those whose automatic answer is I've got it. Every once in a while stop and ask yourself, do I actually have it? And if the answer is no, talk to somebody. Check on your people. Give your people the opportunity to check on you too. And, guys, I'm going to throw this out there too. If things ever get to the point where you need immediate support, you know, call or text 988 to reach uh, the Crisis Lifeline. And for veterans, if you dial pound 988 and then press 1, that will get you to the Veterans Hotline. You don't have to wait until something becomes unbearable before you reach out. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And that's pretty much what I wanted to get out tonight, guys. Friends at church. Are they better? Yep. Great conversation, Dave. Friends, lots to think about. Thank you all for being here. Sam, yeah, anytime, man. Reach out. We're here for you. This community is here for you. And now we have this amazing bond in this community and in this channel. And hey, you guys may have noticed, there's people that like to come in and troll and do their thing, but it's taken care of. Don't allow it. But with all that said, guys, I want to just remind you guys to have an amazing week. Let's keep our minds on, those wins for the week. Those small wins, they add up, they stack up, and they matter. Always a great conversation, which is why Tuesday nights are my favorite. Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate you, Abe, and appreciate you, Stanley. Appreciate everybody in here. A lot of the times, we try not to go too deep. Sometimes it just gets there, and I think at the times when it does, it's because it really needs to. And and a lot of that conversation gets driven by you guys, as to how far we push into the discussion. Yep. Appreciate all of you, even if it's just a funny video you send or simple message. I might not get back to you right away, but in quiet times, I see it. Absolutely, guys. Yep. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remind you guys that Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern is the Bearded Kim with me and my brother, Ray's Bearded AA Ron. We will see you guys on Saturday night at 9 p.m. You guys have an amazing evening tonight. And thank you guys for allowing me to share my thoughts and to have this discussion and your guys' feedback. It's a lot easier when I have the chat to bounce off of and to go off of. And with all that said, guys, I'm going to let you guys run for the night. You guys have an amazing evening. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday evening with us. I know it's getting late over there on the east side. And as always, guys, remember, your mental health is a priority. Your happiness is essential. And your self-care is an absolute necessity. Till Saturday, love you guys. Have a good night.
This is beyond the beer. This is who you are. Every hidden battle, every unseen scar. You're still standing here. You made your way. One more breath, one more step, one more day. You're not done.